Tonight on Oswego Now, what do you think when you hear the word hack? Is it good? Is it bad? SUNY Oswego students are defining the term in their own creative and competitive way.
The Oswego Harbor is responsible for handling hundreds of thousands of pounds of cargo every single year. I'm Oswego Now's Madeline Cummings with the multi-million-dollar renovations coming to the port.
I'm Seth Appleby. Coming up on Oswego Now, find out what's to become of these old buildings.
About a century of waves, storms, and wear and tear have caused significant damage to Port Oswego's breakwall. I'm Oswego Now reporter Madeline Cummings with the multi-million-dollar contract that is dedicated to repairing that damage. Rail cars of granite will soon arrive to the Port of Oswego with the purpose of repairing its breakwall. H. Lee White Maritime Museum at Oswego Executive Director Mercedes Neese says the breakwall was originally built to protect the harbor from Lake Ontario's harsh waves.
The waves get, pretty high, very choppy. So any of the stone that is already on the breakwall gets beat up pretty bad. And it's been a long time since that has been attended to.
Now, after years and years of wear and tear, the breakwall is in a bit of a need of some TLC. The $9.1 million contract awarded by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers will resume repairs originally started in 2018.
And the Army Corps of Engineers has been doing this project in phases over several years. As you get money allotted to a project, they don't do the whole thing, they just do sections. And so I think this is the final section that they're going to be finishing.
After 7 years of improvements, this fully federally funded project will mark the end of the breakwall repairs. The Oswego Harbor is a deep draft commercial harbor which contributes $8.5 million in labor income to the transportation sector and is accessible from every international port in the world.
Nowadays, they ship aluminum, potash, fertilizer, salt, all kinds of things. So it's really, windmill parts have been a real big item that's been shipped in for a lot of years.
Neese says the repairs will make the port safer for the people of Oswego.
To make it a safe inner harbor so that people could also have recreation. And people could fish and have recreational boating, things like that.
And it's smooth sailing ahead as the repairs on the breakwall will be started this spring and will be concluded by winter of 2025. For Oswego Now, I'm Madeline Cummings.
And here in Oswego, we are in for some active weather this weekend as this system that is now in the Midwest will continue to make its way into our area by tomorrow morning. So you could wake up to some showers at your doorstep. And earlier this week, we were surprised a little bit by some sleet and snow in Oswego earlier this week, but that shouldn't be too surprising here in Oswego because usually we have snow up until the last days of April, even into May on occasion. But compared to the last few years, we haven't seen that much frozen precipitation in the spring months. The last few years we've ended in March. Out in 2021, we did have some snow on April 22nd. But we will be in for some more snow at the beginning of next week. And I'll have some more information in my full forecast when you come back to me.
Here on the east side of Oswego is Mackin Complex, a former residence hall and dining center. The last use for these buildings was as a quarantine facility during the COVID-19 pandemic. So what's next for these desolate buildings? Mitch Fields has been with SUNY Oswego since 2012 and has over 30 years of experience with facilities management.
The complex is Lonis, Moreland, Mackin. Lonis and Moreland were the original dorms on campus. Mackin, when it was first built, was called Hewitt Union, and it was the student union. There are beautiful meeting rooms in there. There's a dining hall downstairs.
The buildings were built in the 1940s after World War II in order to serve students who were previously living in nearby Army barracks, known as students as Splinter Village.
What we call the Sheldon Quad, which has Sheldon Hall, Lonis, Moreland, Mackin Complex, Rich Hall, Park Hall, and Wilbur Hall, and then much later Lee Hall was in fact the original 1948 SUNY campus.
Over the years, Mackin Complex's main use was dorms for students, but years have passed since they've seen that kind of life, and the passage of time has started to sink in. Right now I'm behind the Mackin Complex near the old receiving dock, and it isn't hard to see with the broken concrete, the overgrown vegetation, that this place hasn't been used in a while. But that doesn't mean the building is completely abandoned, at least not yet.
SAVAC, the ambulance corps, the student volunteer ambulance corps, is in the lowest level of Moreland. And they have a garage out back, so there's a small headquarters there. The rest of the building is empty. Lonis is completely empty and really sort of shelved. And Mackin Hall is the home of the major projects group on campus, and there's a few custodial people in there as well.
Aaron Johnson, the last custodial staff in Mackin, made it clear that the dismantling process has already begun.
And we've emptied out these rooms because we're consolidating all the furniture down onto one end, just in preps for when it does go down.
The immediate plans is we're going to try to get out of that building, and we're going to try to basically decommission it and mothball it. Further down the road, it's beyond the point of really any effective renewal or renovation, so it will probably be demolished and removed off campus, and I think that area will become more or less a wooded area.
And even though Mackin Complex may be coming to its end, future students can look forward to walking through an arboretum where the current buildings sit. For Oswego Now, I'm Seth Appleby.
There's a battle here on campus to see who's the strongest, and it's happening right now. I'm Jaden Archie, live at the Sweatman Gym, where the energy is high and the weights are even higher at this year's annual bench press competition. Right behind me, students from all across campus are putting their strength to the test in a friendly but fierce competition to see who can lift the most weight. From beginners earning their personal records to experienced lifters benching over 300 pounds. The competition started around 3:30 p.m. and has been running very smoothly, with athletes being spotted by trainers and scores being tracked by judges. The lifters are competing in different weight classes and prizes are on the line for top performers. Here to talk more about it, I'm joined by Campus Rec Marketing Assistant Noah LaFountain. So Noah, how does it feel to be here at the competition, and how has it grown over the years?
I mean, it's great. It's my third year doing it. Over the years, we've gotten more participants, and it's just a good time to wrap up the rest of the semester with these athletes who have been training all semester and the fall semester as well.
Perfect. So what goes into organizing an event like this, from setting up to safety and scoring?
Yeah, there's a whole lot of marketing that goes behind it. We film videos and try to get that out a few weeks in advance, just so we can get as much participation from the campus gyms as well. We have a lot of our personal trainers on staff that like to spot and keep track of the scores as we go, and overall it's just a really good time.
Perfect. So what has the atmosphere been like today, and how are the lifters and the audience responding?
We have a lot of support from our audience today. A lot of people like to come and just watch their friends throughout the whole competition. But yeah, the energy's high. I believe that everybody's having a great time so far, and I'm looking forward to see how the results come in.
Nice. So what do you think strength competitions like this, why do you think they're important for students and health on campus?
It's important for people to stay active on campus, and I think with these events we are able to get a lot of people to come and enjoy these events with their friends, whether they're competing or not, or they're just here to support each other. So it's a good time to build some of that camaraderie.
Thank you, Noah. I appreciate your answers. That's all here, reported live from SUNY Oswego. I'm Jaden Archie.
And stick around after the break to learn more about this weekend wash-in that we could be expecting, as well as some stronger winds on Saturday. Plus, this weekend will be pretty chilly into next week, but then on Tuesday we'll have some snow moving in, and that will make things feel even colder. All that and more in my full forecast. Welcome back to Oswego Now. I'm meteorologist David Rienzo. In Oswego, it has been absolutely gorgeous. Not many clouds in the sky. We're looking dry across the entirety of New York State, But we are in for some rain very soon coming in Saturday, and this is coming out of the Midwest and Great Plains, and that will continue to move into our area by tomorrow morning. You can see on the rain forecast, we'll stay dry for the remainder of the day today, but then quickly as Saturday gets started, boom, 90% chance of rain, a little bit of a dip in the afternoon, but then some more rain ahead for Saturday night. And this is going to continue for mostly just Saturday, and then we'll see a little bit of a chance of rain for Sunday, dying off as the day continues. But then on Tuesday, we have about a 43% chance at some snow as a cold front moves through, and I'll get in more of that towards the end of my forecast. So we'll stay dry for the remainder of Saturday, but then as Saturday gets started, we'll see some pretty heavy rain at times, especially early in the morning on Saturday. But then as it gets going, that moves out into northeast, and we'll stay a little bit of dry, some scattered showers for most of the day on Saturday. And then right as we get started at Saturday night, a second train of showers is going to move in from the southwest. And that will bring some moderate to heavy rain at times, but then will dry up for the remainder of the night into Sunday. Well, Sunday will stay mostly dry, but pretty chilly after that front passes. And then you look down south, more showers, but that'll stay down south. We don't have much to worry about. Some showers moving through New York State, and we'll stay cool for Monday. For your next 12 hours, temperatures will plummet into the low 40s overnight, and then will stay pretty mild around seasonal average for this time of year. But for the next few days, we're going to stay very chilly. So Saturday, we get up pretty warm, but then as Sunday gets started, temperatures drop into the 40s, so a high of 40 degrees on Sunday, and then not much change in temperatures for Monday, even colder for the start of your workday on Monday. Now on Tuesday, we have another very interesting system coming through. This strong cold front is going to bring some snow and rain by the end of the day, Monday, and continuing into Tuesday. So most of the snow will pass us early morning on Tuesday, bringing cold temperatures with it, along with some snow, which could be pretty heavy at times. I know it's a little strange to think snow in April, but it's more than possible, and just look at it. So this snow will move out by the end of the day on Tuesday. We may see some flurries here and there by the end of the day on Tuesday, but those cold temperatures will stick around, so be sure to bundle up on Tuesday. Tomorrow, scattered showers, and also watch out for those pretty strong winds, 15 to 20 miles per hour out of the southeast, but ramping up to gusts as high as 30 miles per hour tomorrow. Warmer than what we'll see. This will probably be the warmest temperatures that we'll see in a while. And if we look at the 7-day forecast, temperatures just plummet into the 40s and 30s. Sunday and Monday, a little cool, but right before those snow on Tuesdays, and then Wednesday and Thursdays closer to those seasonable averages before the weekend gets in. Be sure to bundle up for this weekend because temperatures are looking pretty chilly.
With only a week away from Oswego's first ever TEDx SUNY event, I'm Oswego Now reporter Ziggy James. Coming up, I sit down with a featured speaker to dive into his experiences and what audiences can expect. Joining us today is Aiden Wilson, one of the featured speakers at the first ever TEDx SUNY event here at SUNY Oswego. Thank you, Aiden, for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Of course, anytime I can help somebody, I'm willing to do it.
When you heard that Oswego would be hosting a TEDx event, what was your first reaction?
I was in awe. So growing up, I'm sure we all had to watch a TED Talk for a class or something. I was like, that would be cool. But I actually knew Easton, who kind of was the one that really spearheaded all of this. I'm in awe, more or less, of how this really came to be in such a short time.
How did it feel when you got the invite to go on to speak?
At first I was a little bit hesitant. It was I don't really know if I want to be on a big platform. The basis of my speech is really jumping on any opportunity that you could, because there's growth that comes from it. So I really applied that to what we're doing coming up. So yeah.
So with TEDx being a globally recognized platform, what does it mean to you to be a part of this experience?
I think it means a lot. I'm grateful for every opportunity that is given to me. And with this being a global platform, I think that just means that the world needs to hear my story.
So, your talk is titled Sowing Seeds and Reaping Opportunities. What inspired the theme?
That theme, I think, came from a lot of aspects of my life. I guess the basis of it really came from me appreciating the growth of a plant. I don't know, I've just always been fascinated with plants. There's just something about them. So I kind of took that as my inspiration, and said, let's go there and plant seeds of opportunity for this TEDx talk.
So, how do you see the TEDx SUNY event changing the event culture at SUNY Oswego? With this being the first of its kind, do you see there being more of this or less of this? How do you see it changing the event culture here?
So for this TEDx SUNY Oswego event, I definitely see this being an event that's hosted annually with a new roundup of speakers, including both alumni and current students and like faculty. I'm the only student that is on the panel, which kind of gives me a unique perspective. But for the future, I could see this being a much larger event. I know that their team right now, there's kind of already a succession plan in place. So they're already thinking long term. And again, I credit Eason, Meet, Patel, their entire team, Dr. Scruton, for really putting all of this together. Because I think it's a part of a bigger conversation. Again, we're pushing our campus out there to show that, we may not be the biggest school out there. However, we have a lot of heart. And I think we have like the best campus ever. So just pushing that out there to the global community.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks for the opportunity.
Tickets are still available for the event. It will be held next Friday at Sheldon Hall starting at 2 p.m. For more ticket information, visit us at oswegonow.net. Ziggy James, Oswego Now.
Sports, we have Oswego lacrosse, and the NFL has some new rules, all after the break.
To have success and dominance on the field, you got to have speed, skill, and precision. I'm your sports anchor, Jaden Jiggets, and those three terms is exactly what our very own Oswego men and women's lacrosse team embodies.
This season so far, both Oswego's men's and women's lacrosse are in the top three when it comes to their respective SUNYAC conference standings. These Lakers have shown great teamwork and determination throughout the season, and it shows in their season record as both squads currently are positive over 60%, including both being undefeated in conference showdowns. Both teams are also on current winning streaks, including women's lacrosse impressive 5-game streak and men's lacrosse 2-game streak. Additionally, they both have scored over 20 goals in their past two matchups. The women's team, in fact, put up over 35 goals in their last two matchups. Both teams don't look to be slowing down as playoffs approaches.
Both squads will be looking to keep their win streaks alive tomorrow, Saturday, April 5th. Women's lacrosse will be on the road against Oneonta at Red Dragon Field, and men's lacrosse will be here at home, Laker Turf Stadium, facing off against Potsdam. Both games will start at 1 p.m. Jaden Jiggets, Oswego Now.
This upcoming season, the NFL is going to be looking a little bit different. I'm Oswego Now sports reporter Alex Brummer. In a move aimed to improve player safety and streamlining gameplay, the NFL has announced a series of rule changes set to take effect for the 2025 season. The changes were approved unanimously by team owners, reflecting the league's commitment to protecting athletes and delivering a more dynamic viewing experience. Many of these changes echo principles seen in flag football, emphasizing safety and strategic play. To understand these changes more, I sat down with flag football president Dylan Zielinski and head coach Kenny Gerard to talk about these changes and how they can be related to flag football.
Have longevity of players and being able to go out there and feel safer on the field is important in both flag and tackle.
Some of these rule changes include better replay reviews.
But I think it's good for that sport because that sport is so fast and it's so changing. With flag, it's a lot harder to tell where a player is down. It's not as easy as, oh, they got tackled right here, they're down here. It's, well, their flag got pulled. Well, where? When did the belt come off? So I think having the replay abilities in a sport like flag football is necessary.
New overtime rules where each team can get the ball.
The overtime rules are decently similar where each team will get a ball. So I think that having that rule in flag just makes sense to me. I think both teams should get a chance no matter what.
new taunting restrictions to cut out any non-sportsmanlike gestures.
I think if you're going to call taunting, though, it's got to be fair. If you're going to call it on one team, you got to call it on the other.
New first down rules that will monitor first downs better, which became a big thing after a controversial call in this year's AFC Championship game.
Watching the AFC Championship game last year where Josh Allen, there's now pretty much been proven, there's pictures, there's videos, there's everything, evidence saying he picked up the first down. That system, the new system they put in with all the cameras, would have clearly been able to tell you he got the first down.
These new rule changes are designed for a more safer and dynamic gameplay. The league will monitor these new rules as the 2025 season goes on so they can make future adjustments. Alex Brummer, Oswego Now.
Semester winds down and we get closer to finals. Students are looking for a place to relieve their stress. I'm Oswego Now reporter Casey DeSalle. I went down to Oswego County's SPCA in Fulton to see how their care for animals is helping the community. The Oswego County's SPCA in Fulton holds an event every Thursday evening called Cats, Cuddles, and Cookies for anyone that's looking to get their mind off of things. From 6 to 8 p.m., you can come in and enjoy a cookie and play with cats. Tanya Simchenko, the president of the board of directors of the Oswego County SPCA, says she started volunteering 13 years ago because animals are her best friends.
I've loved animals my whole life. I just feel that one of the most important characteristics people can have is empathy towards animals, and I think it says a lot about them.
The mission of the SPCA is to help improve the welfare of the animals in the community. Whether the animal has been abused, neglected, or is homeless, the SPCA will care for them no matter what. Justin Wallace, a junior at Fulton High School, explains why he is grateful for events like these.
It's nice to be able to experience this because I can't have a cat, and it just feels really nice.
The SPCA is completely volunteer run, and all of their funding comes from donations. Simchenko is incredibly thankful for the volunteers in the community.
We don't have a shelter. We run solely through foster homes, so people take these homeless animals into their home, love them, care for them, and then let them move on to a forever home. And to me, that's the ultimate gift of love, is to let your heart break so theirs never breaks again.
If you want to donate or volunteer your time to help these animals, you can call the SPCA or visit their website at OswegoCountySPCA.org. In Fulton, Casey DeSalle, Oswego Now.
Well, for the remainder of your night tonight, we'll stay a little warm, a low of 38 tonight, with those clouds moving in early tomorrow morning as those scattered showers and heavy rain at times will move in tomorrow. A high of 53, so a little warmer than compared to normal. And wind speeds are going to be pretty gusty tomorrow afternoon, reaching up to 30-mile-per-hour gusts. Now, rain is going to start to move in early in the day on Saturday, lasting for a few hours, and then we'll have a couple bits of dry periods during tomorrow. But then rain again continues Saturday afternoon, so if you're going out, be sure to bundle up tomorrow night. For your 7-day forecast, showers on Saturday, but then we'll dry up for the next 2 days before a wicked cold front moves through and brings some snow and rain on Tuesday. But then we'll stay dry for Wednesday and Thursday. That's all for my forecast, and if you want any more information on any of the stories that we talked about tonight, be sure to check out our webpage at oswegonow.net. That's all for our show. Thank you for watching, and have a good night.